Remember? Camera? Live.
Let's go! Coming live from Johannesburg. This is the Grumpy Old Homo Show.
This is
With
different
Mark
track.
Hawkins and me, Trevor Harper. Now we're improvising, Doris. Stop.
I'm going to fade.
He's going to fade. It's chaos. I mean, it's Thursday night chaos.
No, it's nearly Halloween. That's,
and I hear the moon's in retrograde or something's up somebody's football. I don't know what's going on.
Venus is her name. She's got it.
She's got it.
Babe.
No,
You're not going to get any music. Not that you normally
we're
do.
not getting music. Yeah, because we're too busy chatting. Good evening. Welcome to the Thursday edition of the Grumpy Old Homo Show. Anyway, yeah, amongst all things, one conquers, we're terribly sorry we're so late, but that's the way it goes. Yeah. And we wanted to say that we've got some really exciting stuff today. We've got a
jam-packed
show.
Strawberry jam.
We're going to very soon, in a couple of minutes actually, meet the young Adam Benefeld. Well, we call everybody young. Anybody under 50 is young as far as we're concerned.
And he's gorgeous.
And he's very gorgeous. He's joining us as our very first in-studio guest. And we're very excited about that because the unfortunate thing is that I'm not in the middle. Mark's in the middle. You know what it means.
And he can't see me, thank God.
No, that means that Mark has to fiddle with him. You know what I mean? It's not fun.
Yeah, but I must say, in this kind of camera angle, you do look quite fat. I'll see what you say.
Exactly what I was saying. I look like a walrus from sideways. I mean, come now, give me a break. I mean, I'm trying to own it. It's very hard. I came out of my mother's vagina fat. You know what I mean? So it's been a struggle, a lifetime struggle, people.
Long time.
Yeah. And then at 8 o'clock, we're going to hook up with some members of the gay or queer press, as we've been calling them.
Yeah.
Ruben van Niekerk and Alan Salmons of Gay Pages. And then from the oldest Moffy newspaper in South Africa, from the Exit.
From the Exit magazine. Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, not remember. I mean, we still remember.
Yeah, of course. I mean, in those days, it was free at the club,
All wrapped up in the CNA in plastic.
Well, if you bought it at the CNA, but we used to get it for free at the club, right?
No, but it was all those kind of people that weren't out.
Who's the editor of the Exit newspapers? Trevone, right?
Trevone, yeah.
Trevone Moo, who we're going to be talking to him, Boo.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be talking to Louis de Barros. I don't know if I'm saying that correct.
Yeah, it is Louis.
Louis.
Yeah.
Who's
from Mamba Online.
Yeah, he's the digital editor for Mamba Online. Or I think he's the editor. Sorry, I might be wrong. We've got to find out. I don't mind being corrected.
You love being corrected.
Anyway, what can we do? Yeah, so, and of course, our loyal producer, Matthew Better, is controlling the
always
streams.
better with Matt.
Better with Matt. Oh, did you see what he just did? Anyway, I think we're getting a little infectious, darling. Anyway, so tell us what's happening in the world, Mark.
Oh, a hell of a lot, I suppose.
What do you mean, you suppose?
I suppose. Sorry. Good news, though, is Pope Francis. You've heard about that, eh?
Yeah.
Has said that the same-sex couples should be protected by COVID unions. Yeah.
COVID unions?
Sorry.
Civil. Are you reading one thing and saying another thing?
Yeah, because my glasses.
Put your glasses on.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Okay. There we go.
Yes.
But civil. Sorry, not COVID. Civil
unions.
Yeah.
He's appearing in a new full-length documentary called Francesco, which had its premiere at the Rome Film Festival on Wednesday. So,
I mean, this call is the most direct he's ever made, and it's a distinct departure from his predecessors and the church.
Yeah, but it's still many wrongs don't make a right.
No.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, when he was still a cardinal and archbishop, he didn't approve of gay people adopting children. So, he's got to, maybe this is just the first step.
Yeah, it is. Okay. And, it's always baby steps. But he says that homosexual people have a right to be in a family.
We are family.
They are children of God and have and have a right to a family. Nobody should be thrown out or be made miserable over it. What we have to create is a civil union law. That way, they are legally covered. I stood up for that. Yeah.
Well, my funny hotline today is the fact that Rudy Giuliani was caught with his hand down his pants in a new Borat film.
Really?
He's 78. Give us a
Oh
break,
my
everybody.
God. I didn't know
so,
that.
Yeah, no, this one. We are. And the other news, of course, pertinent to this week, of course, is that there has been a global LGBTIQ plus network conference.
Yeah.
At one of our favorite places,
The Constitution Hill.
Yeah, it's diverse subjects that have been covered over 3 days. And I must just say, a girl's busy. You know, I mean, I try and keep it in the background and be watching. So it's been very interesting.
And hats off to Constitution Hill for getting it all together.
I'm a bit blown over by Constitution Hill. I must be honest. Never before have I felt that South Africans, gay people, and the full spectrum. I'm sorry, queer people. Let's just call it all queer, if you don't mind. That queer people could be represented this way, and that our constitutional rights are being put in our face, if you know what I mean. And I think that's brilliant, and we're very proud of at least one institution or agency of the state that's doing its job.
Yeah.
So fantastic.
Yeah, and also I was blown away by the picture or the ad that I saw. And then when I mentioned it to you, this is like earlier in the week, you went, oh, but there's a whole outcry about it. And it's the Oreos releasing their...
Yeah, but I think that's just the fundamental Christians having a moment.
No, it is.
Yeah.
So, and it's been going on. And I mean, I love it. I'd love a packet of Morphe Oreos. Rainbow.
So lucky,
so they released a new ad featuring a young lesbian couple who made a meet the parents style of visit that starts out bumpy but ends with both parents accepting this couple. As a result, 1 million moms in America, of course, threatened to boycott the cookie company for going after our children. I mean, come on. It seems 1 million moms would prefer an alternate ending where the parents in the ad kick their daughter and her girlfriend out of the house and never speak to them again or something like that.
Yeah, I'm going out on a limb here. I'm going to tell you all this sensitivity and stuff like that we've been here because the world has become Americanized. I'm just going to blame the bloody Americans, you know what I mean? Because they're so sensitive about just their own shadows. Never mind about the fact that they are transporting and transferring all this sensitivity to everybody, and the level of offense has got out of control.
But what is so beautiful, if you like animals, do you like animals?
Well, please, how you say that, darling?
I have to tell you.
I love animals.
There are two gay penguins are so determined to become fathers that they have commandeered the entire nest and egg of a lesbian penguin couple.
Oh no, this sounds like
The aquatic soap opera unfolded this week at Amersfoort's Dierenpark. Hey, that's good, eh?
Yeah.
Dierenpark Zoo in the Netherlands, where the African penguin's nesting season is in full swing. And I promise you, it's a true story.
What is that? The penguins migrated all the way to Holland?
No, man, they're in a zoo. So the two male penguins.
Is that what that word means?
No, that's Amersfoort. It's a place. The two male penguins, who are the dominant couple in the 17 penguin enclosure at the zoo, made headlines last year after they stole another bird's egg when no one was looking because they wanted a child, obviously. What's a baby penguin? A penguin. So sadly, it didn't hatch.
Right, and tell us.
Sadly, it didn't hatch, and the would-be fathers remain chickless. But in their bid to become parents, they've now gone a step further and nabbed a whole nest. Unfortunately for them, they picked the wrong penguin couple to steal from. Why? Because the zookeeper, Sander Drost, told RTV Utrecht, the new egg probably won't hatch because it's unlikely to be fertilized, as it happens to have been laid by a lesbian pair. Nevertheless, the two male penguins are dutifully caring for the egg in hopes that they might finally hear the pitter-patter of tiny flippers. The gay couple are looking after the egg very well and take turns in keeping it warm to the zookeeper after their first nest napping attempt. Why did I choose all this stuff with like alliteration?
Well,
Homosexuality is fairly common in penguins, but what makes this couple remarkable is that they have gotten hold of an egg. Gay penguins were observed in the wild as early as 1911, and same-sex penguin couples are commonly found in zoos around the world. Another gay male penguin couple, Sven and Magic, gained global fame in October 2018 when they hatched their first chick called Splengic. But how amazing is that?
But I mean, what are the chances you've got a colony of 17 penguins and 4 of them are queer?
Yeah.
Give me a break.
And the whoopies are stealing eggs from the lesbians.
Yeah. Well, maybe
But I thought it's a beautiful
they should
story.
do what that lesbian in Cape Town did, which she got her gay friend to ejaculate into a Robertson Spice bottle.
Yeah.
And then, do you know the story?
It came out Indian.
It's a true story, I swear. And then she used a turkey base to suck it up with and stick it in. They made a baby. Promise story.
Yeah. No, I remember that. Yeah.
I mean, if a lesbian asked me, I would take it for the team, wouldn't you? Nah.
In a turkey based.
Oh, no. Anyway, some good news from Russia.
Oh, God, yeah.
The Russia cabinet has rejected amendments to the country's family code, which would not only have banned marriage equality and same-sex adoption, which are already outlawed, but would also have legally erased trans people.
Wow.
So I can tell you something now that, we know our fellow queers in Russia are still having a hard time and persecuted in many kind of far-flung states within the Russian Federation. So the block of hardline, high decibel, anti-LGBT plus lawmakers draw up a package of policies masterminded by Vladimir Putin earlier this year to drum up support for a constitutional referendum. It helped Putin eke out a victory in July, enabling him to rule until 2036.
No way. I don't want to be alive then.
No.
Well, we won't.
Well, I mean, obviously they did a constitutional referendum. They think he's doing a good job, so they let him take on the job for life. But remember, he was president, then he became president, prime minister, and then he chucked Medvedev out again. Then he became president again. So I mean, how does that work? Eh?
I don't know. Vodka,
yeah. And borscht.
and what are those things called? With the woman, you open it, there's another woman.
It's the mamushka,
babushka
doll.
Babushka.
I watched a fascinating interview once. It was a documentary of how these hefty Russian women, all sitting looking like the babushka, with their headdresses, the full tribal, and they were sitting there with lathes and big tools, and they were carving out the wood. I swear to you, they sit there and they've got a pattern and they hoy. I tell you, one time. Anyway, so it was very.
I must Google that.
Yeah, making babushkas. Anyway, what else have you got for us?
Well, October is obviously happy LGBTQIA plus History Month, and it's a birthday this year. It's a month-long celebration of the history of the community, and with the rich history of the battles won over the years, there's always something to celebrate. Queer acceptance has advanced in leaps and bounds, which it has, but not enough. And while there's still lots of work to be done, celebrating the progress we've made is something to raise a glass of champagne to, darling. This October is special because it marks the 30th anniversary, I didn't know this, 30th anniversary of the first ever Pride March held on the African continent.
Yeah.
And that march took place here in Johannesburg on the 13th of October, 1990.
Yes, and in that front line was the esteemed constitutional justice, Edwin Cameron,
yes,
along with Simon Corley. Yeah.
And the year also marks 25 years since the 4th United Nations World Conference on Women in Beijing, in which South Africa's Dr. Beverly Palesa Ditsi spoke about the importance of considering LGBTQIA plus rights in the context of human rights.
I'm sure they went down really well in China.
I'm sure. Or maybe they just got people that did, what do you call it when you translate? Not there.
No, they're not allowed to do that. You mean
Just
click on
change
the
it.
translation?
Yeah. Cook.
They wouldn't have done no.
I'm joking, of course. Yeah.
But we're about to go to the ad break.
We've got an ad, or do we have to sing it?
No, we're not singing the ad, apparently. We're going to the ad break, and when we come back, we're going to have our wonderful guest and most gorgeous Adam Benefeld joining us on air.
Yeah.
Go, click.
Go.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Grumpy Old Homo Show.
Yeah, and we are in Pride Month.
We are in Pride Month, and tonight
celebrating queers.
Queers,
all
queers.
that is queer.
So we're doing a fundraiser on the 29th of October. Currently hosted by I Love Melville.live, and there's sponsored food and drink.
Entertainment.
We've got the Avalon Quartet. We've got the Mamas.
Lilo's going to perform.
And Robert Whitehead. Patsy City, I tell you. There was everybody everywhere.
What am I?
We're live. We're here.
Hi.
Hello, Adam.
Hey, how are you?
All right, and you. Welcome to the Grumpy Old Homo Show on I Love Melville.live.
I am honored to be here. Thank you
You're
so
our
much for having
first
me.
in-studio guest.
Woo! I am so excited. I cannot wait to get grilled.
fantastic.
Y'all better roast me today.
Fantastic.
Roasted. Like a spatchcock.
Not spit roasted,
No.
just regular roasted. Thank you.
Let's just go. We're going to try and keep it tidy. But I don't
Okay.
think that's possible.
Great.
Lovely to just meet you. I've done a bit of research on you, obviously.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
On Grindr and
I can only offer my most sincere
On Grindr,
condolences.
I don't have Grindr.
nor do I. Just they all talk
Who
about it.
cares? Why tease the vultures? That's what I say.
Listen, Grindr's a time. I'm not going to say it's a good time, but it certainly exists. So.
Yeah.
There's a boy that was in an article today on Mamba Online that I saw. His name is Tian van Vieren. We're making him famous. He's the biggest number.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. Did you see?
I didn't.
No, you
What had
didn't.
happened?
Anyway, we'll talk to Louis about it later because it's one of the featured articles that I saw today.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. But anyway, we don't like them, but we're most happy to have you here.
Well, he's the worst, and I agree with you. And I'm so
Yeah.
happy to be here too.
That's
Thank
great.
you.
So let's get the business out of the way. Let's
Let's
find
do
out
it.
why are you here, and
Why are
and
we
tell
making you
us-
famous?
Yeah.
Well, I'm
I know, I
already
think he's
famous.
already-
Don't
yeah.
worry. No, I'm kidding.
Sorry.
Thank you for making me famous. Yes, well.
More famouser.
Yeah,
Yes, thank you.
We discovered you.
And how honored I am to be discovered by you guys. I am here to talk about the new bar that we are launching called The Omni in Braamfontein. It is basically going to be one of the first authentic queer spaces that is going to open up in Johannesburg that I know of. And I am so excited to be there. It's going to be incredible.
It's fantastic because also, I mean, I'm ex-Durban,
Yeah.
and my best always was to come to Joburg and go to like all the clubs. Well, even before that, when I was in the army protecting all of you.
Wow.
We used to,
Oh,
we
We've
used to
already
go
been
out.
there once
Miss
before.
Lieutenant over here.
We used to go
I love
to
it.
all the old bars.
Yeah.
And Granny
Those days
Lee
when-
and everybody.
Those are the
But-
days we used to jaunt in town.
Yes, so I
And
hear.
Hillbrow, yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah,
compared
we're
to
old
the
enough to be
Durban
your
clubs. Yeah.
Well, yes, exactly. My thought.
Right.
Listen, old enough to be my daddy. No, I'm kidding.
This is going to go south, bitches.
I can't wait. Oh, it's gonna be
All
brilliant.
right. So you tell us about the Omni.
Shut up. What when you say authentically queer bar, what are you meaning? What do you say?
I mean, like when a queer person walks into a space, I think often there's a level of adjustment that we find ourselves having to succumb to. We have to always make sure that we fit into a space so that we are protected, so that we don't misstep or do anything that's going to put us in danger.
Yeah.
Because the reality of the situation, the very sad reality of the situation, is that a lot of people in the LGBTQIA+ community are still very, very unprotected and very in danger. So when I say an authentically queer space, I mean, you walk in there how you are feeling at home, or you walk in there to escape from binaries. You walk in there to leave a world that's in black and white.
Please explain binaries.
No,
Tim.
listen. No, yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah, carry on.
I'm ready.
Carry on.
I'll open up the scroll and just hear you.
Well, we were just chatting before the show. It's like, darling, I'm 58. You know what I mean? It's like we used to just
We just can't keep
gay.
up.
And every time you open up your laptop or whatever, it's like there's another letter added onto the alphabet.
Oh, I
you know?
see. Listen, I understand, but we love representation up in here. Yeah. We love it. And you know what? I don't even just mean gender binaries. I mean like life's binaries, whether you are, you know, good or bad, whether you're feeling happy or upset. It doesn't matter what's going on. You go into this incredible space and you are free to be whoever you want, which is so cool. It's like social media in real life. You get to face tune your real life.
That's fantastic.
So tell us, it's at 46 Jorissen Street.
49 Jorissen Street,
49.
yes.
Put your glasses on.
I'm not looking at anything. I'm just trying to
it's memory.
use my memory.
Oh, wow.
Ginkgo biloba doll. It works wonders.
What?
Ginkgo biloba, the memory pill. We love to see it.
Oh, I need to get some of that.
Well, you need shares in the company.
Not this RuPaul laugh y'all just got out of me. Okay.
No, well, you know, we promised to be irreverent and we're aging disgracefully. Okay.
We love to see it.
Listen, Donnie, so 49 Jorissen Street, and there's a big number. I want to go. Are you going to be here?
31st.
Yes, the 31st.
What day is that?
That's a
Saturday, the 31st of
31st
October.
of October. Well, he can't remember his diary, so we'll find out later.
I'll bring the ginkgo biloba next time.
Yeah, because I'm really excited. DJ Euphonic is going to be on the billing.
And get this, we have actually replaced DJ Euphonic with another incredibly good queer DJ, a very successful one, Lelo. What's good?
You replaced him.
Well,
is he ever going to play then?
Listen, I mean, we have reached out to whomever we could on social media to find out how we can make the space as safe as possible. And there have been some issues with Euphonic in the past, and we are committed to this. We literally found out, we did our research and we did what we needed to do, and we subsequently just replaced him.
Is there a bit of naming and shaming that needs to have? Well, the name has been out there.
It's been named and shamed, Diva.
I saw something today, and I thought,
yes, exactly.
It must have been a later post, because I thought, what are you talking about? You know?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. So we did not want to compromise the authenticity of the space.
Is the word phobia involved?
The word phobia may be involved, and also the, you know.
Anyway,
y'all really got me on this public platform about to cancel myself.
We could get sued and we've got no money. Right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But yes, no, we're going to have another really big act, Lelo What's Good, and it's going to be such a melting pot of just everyone.
Well, we look forward to. I mean, well, we don't necessarily have to be invited to this.
You are. Oh, you know.
You're gonna have to have your patty frock, darling.
Get the frock out.
Yeah, and enough polyfiller to sink a battle.
Or rather, stop a battleship from sinking.
Yeah.
At least I won't have to wear a corset the whole night.
Oh, I'm going to be wearing a corset. Don't try me right now.
We saw in the picture. Are you wearing a corset right now?
I'm not, but if you keep talking to me like that, you might find out. No, I am going to be. I generally like to do like a half drag kind of thing. So I have a lot of corsetry that I do. I do corset training.
You just like to chuck the boundaries into a two-stunt. Right?
I just like to be skinny. I just like to be skinny without sucking it all in. You know what I mean?
Please shut up. Really. This is not fair. Not fair. I'm feeling body shame, Jack.
No,
this is a new term I picked up today.
Oh, John, we are about to go through the whole lexicon of social justice.
Anyway, so let's focus.
Yes.
Saturday, the 31st of October, 49 Jorissen Street. The Omni is going to spring to life.
Yes, and
okay, why the Omni?
But
well, I mean, you know, because
first of all, is it a invite only or what?
The 31st is open to the public.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. So
We're not going to the 31st.
No.
you're going to the special
We're gonna go on
one.
the 28th.
You guys get to sleep there the night before to make sure that it's safe.
No,
It's very
it
good.
doesn't matter. You'll sleep anyway.
I suffer from narcolepsy.
Oh, that's brilliant. I love that. I wish I were you. Oh, good morning. How's it? Oh, we went through the whole show. Don't worry. It's done.
Yeah, so right. And then, of course, you're starting at 7 o'clock.
Yes.
The doors open at 7.
Yes, Miss
I'm trying to keep this on track, damn it. Right. 7 o'clock, and then who's playing?
We will have on our opening night, the first act is going to be a very, very talented queer DJ. She used to work at La Santa. She does a lot of spaces in Melville. Her name is Jess Barclay.
Oh, I know Jace Barkley.
Really? I love her
Yeah,
so
she
much.
used to be a student of mine.
Get
Yeah.
out of
I
town.
know. That's how old I am.
Get out of town. Jess Barkley, who is
Yeah.
absolutely wonderful, as you know.
Yeah.
And then we will have Lelo What's Good
Yeah.
from 9:30. Excuse me,
So
from
fun.
9 until 10:30. And then we're going to have another really cool queer DJ named Jenny Dyson, who is
Mhm.
going to be coming in. She also does a lot of gigs around Melville. And it's just the vibe of music is, have you guys been to Romeo's just up the street?
No, I can't say we have, actually.
Haven't invited us.
Oh,
No, we
Romeo's.
haven't.
Romeo's is cancelled. No, I'm kidding.
No.
Romeo's is cancelled party. Just kidding. I give you guys so much money. Don't cancel me.
Alright.
But it's just up the road here. You know where the Ocean Basket was?
Yeah.
It's in there. It's
Oh.
brills. It's brilliant.
The
But anyway,
Ocean Basket. Oh, right. Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Under poppies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we
Okay.
couldn't find parking.
Yeah.
nightmare. But yeah,
Anyway. Yeah, so that sounds amazing. So we've got a couple of dykes on decks.
actually, yes. We love to see it.
Well, we got full permission from two well-established dykes to use the word. By the way. We've got a license. We've got a card.
I'm not going to
Permission
do it.
card.
I
Yeah.
certainly
Well,
won't.
we don't.
No,
You
well,
would
they,
tell us.
yeah, they said that's what the
Yeah, no, we-
lesbians identify with now,
Yeah.
the word dyke.
well,
We
maybe
love
the
to
old
see
dykes on bikes and dykies.
Yeah, and a dyke in
yeah.
a finger in a dyke in Holland,
Yes,
wasn't it
no,
the
that's
story?
Finger in a
Yeah.
the one where they stop the
The
whole
water,
place from
yes.
drowning.
Yeah.
Drowning. Flooding
Yeah.
is the
Isn't that the
word.
story of Rachel? No, she saved for Christ.
Rachel Kiedebeer. Isn't that the story of Ingrid Jonker? Where
Yeah.
she stopped the water.
Well, I don't know. It sounds very sort of, sort of dark normative.
A drag name.
Yeah, I think we have. We should give Tony Morkel that name, dark normative.
Oh, we love to hear it. I love a good drag name.
Yeah,
Let me tell
yeah.
you, my first drag name was
Yeah.
Lazy Susan,
Oh,
which is
Lazy
the stupidest
Susan.
one I could think
Well,
of.
are you a lazy student? You just lie there.
Listen,
Well-
I just lie there and hope I get tips.
Well, mine, because I was a dancer, ballet dancer in the old
yes,
days,
King.
was Olga Kochikokov.
I'm sorry, everyone. I have to leave because my wig has been eviscerated on live radio.
I didn't know you had that name.
Olga Kochikokov. Yeah. I mean, I was Russian, for God's sake.
Not
Oh.
this.
Do
But-
Russian.
Huh?
Oh, can you do Russian?
Yeah, dancing.
Uh,
I think
I bet you
we're
those
about to
bees
go
won't
to
do
an
those
ad
Cossack
break.
kicks
Are you
again.
hitting the window because we must go to an ad break, Matthew?
Why? What's
no.
happening, Matthew?
It says here 4 minutes to ad break or something. What's going on? Oh, was that long ago? Okay, I need to get new glasses. huh?
Good.
What's
Okay.
happening with those things on your head?
I can't see.
Are those the
tonight.
bifocals you stole last week?
Yeah, these-
They're
yeah.
decorative.
A lesbian
leave her
lesbian.
alone.
Sit
Uh-huh.
down, right. This is not about us, it's about Adam. Right.
Oh, I love when people say that. Okay.
But Adam,
Yeah.
can I just tell you something?
Yes.
Do you know how many types of pangolins there are?
A pangolin being those little
Those
animals,
animals
little
with
marsupial.
scales,
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
They're the ones that are all being chopped up and everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, sure.
There are 8
don't.
species. of
I
a
love
pangolin.
that.
Isn't that
Where the
amazing?
hell? Where does this come
Pangolins.
from?
This show is sponsored by Pangolins Incorporated.
No, I just thought I'd throw that
I had
in.
a House of Julian shoulder padded number that I used to wear to the clubs when I was young.
A
It
diva.
looked like a pangolin.
Fun fact: pangolins lay eggs.
But it had
Yeah.
brocade and napa leather on it. It was gorgeous.
Truly iconic. She said, "I'm a club kid,
Yeah.
and I'm sticking to it."
The pads in that thing were made by Gama Gama, I tell you.
Oh,
Choreographed. And
So-
Choreographed.
Yeah, tell us more about yourself. Come down.
myself.
Can we
Well,
talk first? I want to know Omni. party. Is it
Yes.
it's a bar, but it's got DJs, so there's dancing, or
Yes,
is it
of
kind of a
course.
clubby vibe? Is it quiet? Is it loud?
Yes.
Can
So
us old morphies go there?
oh, absolutely. So we will be opening on a Sunday as well for like the
What,
daytime.
for a tea dance.
For a lovely tea dance. No.
Yeah.
We're going to be opening Sundays just for people to come in and like have a good time, just sit down, have a drink. We also, so they're going to be DJs because also soon we're going to be opening another section of Omni right next to it called O Club. It's going to be downstairs in the basement right next to everything, and it's going to have all these neon lights and everything
in the
amazing.
basement.
Yes, it's going to be lovely
Like
and
O,
secluded.
like O, or O.
Oh, like O, like the letter O. It's very, very
Wow.
reminiscent of a zero.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be added to the LGBTQIA plus. O.
Omnisexual. That's kind of where we
Yeah,
draw
there
inspiration
you
for
go.
I think
Omni,
so.
actually.
Uh,
But it's going to be a bar where people can just dance, have a good time. We're almost certain that people are going to start misbehaving at any stage
mhm.
during the night, and that's kind of what we want.
And
Well,
yeah.
we don't misbehave. Do we misbehave?
Let's not go down that road.
I would rather you did.
Yeah, no, but not on air. You know what I mean? We always well behaved.
Now, tell me, is this a walk-in spot, or do you need to book tickets to go there?
Walk right on in.
Yeah,
First
right.
come, first serve. We're
Okay.
obviously sticking to COVID regulations, so
Right.
there will be no more than 250 people in the space.
Wow, is it big enough to take 250
It
people?
is very much so big
Oh.
enough for 250 people.
Wow. Do you know anybody who's doing social distancing anymore? It's so like last month.
Well,
you
look,
know
we
what
are.
I mean?
We're very socially distanced.
Yeah.
I love it.
Mm.
Yet so together.
I actually brought a mask tonight. Can you believe it?
You know what? I walked in, I looked, I was like, where can I find a floral mask to
Oh,
match this
sorry.
floral shirt? I got to make a
Yeah.
good impression on the grumpy old Homo show
Yeah.
up in this
It
gig.
is rather lovely. Very high biscuits. Yeah.
Oh, what can I say?
But normally it's also there's no cover charge or
There will be a 50 Rand entry fee for the sole reason that we want to make sure that the space is safe. So we don't just want any person coming
Yes.
in from the
So
street.
it's restricted access. So
Yes,
there's,
of course.
all rights reserved on the top of the door.
Yes.
And you've got a big birdie man standing at the door protecting
Quite a
us coming
few.
down. Yeah, quite a few. Because I
Yes.
was just thinking about that, you know. I mean, if Mark and I arrive and she does the mermaid, Ethel Merman impression.
Oh, we love to hear it. I demand
Then,
to hear it.
then we need. She needs, you know, when she from the minute she exits the car, we need protection.
We need security.
Now tell me exactly where's 49 Jorissen Street. Is it up towards the theatre, or is it like?
Yes, so it's
Yeah.
actually just in between Wits Arts campus and the Johannesburg Theatre. It's directly opposite the McDonald's in Braam.
Oh,
So
right.
it's very convenient.
Very
Yeah, yeah.
convenient. Is it a 24/7 McDonald's?
I mean, stops at 12 now, but
Are you
soon
going
to
to
be.
be talking which are there going to be snacks at your bar?
I actually don't know. I'm not actually certain if we're going to be serving snacks because it's more of a going out venue and they open at night.
He's diabetic. You better keep a chocolate behind him.
I will have so much insulin on deck. You'll have a shot of it as you walk through the door.
By the time he gets there, he'll need a chocolate. A Mari biscuit.
Listen, we love it. We love some of my closest friends are diabetic. So I can say diabetic slurs.
I have a friend that also knows a diabetic.
Oh my, yeah. We're
Oh
very
my
connected here.
Okay, right.
So tell me, are you going to have a Black Friday special?
Black Friday, this every Friday, Miss Thing. We're having like I don't want it to be something that you need a special for to go have a good time. You know what I mean?
But you're open every night, every day.
We're gonna be open from Thursday to Sunday.
From what time?
From 7 p.m.
Until you
this
die.
weekend until we die. No, from 7 p.m. this weekend, but going forward from Thursday the 5th of November, where we will also be having very cool events like Tin Talks and a party whose name is rather rude, so I don't want to say it on here.
No, say it.
Oh, Pussy Party. So
Oh, yeah.
Pussy Party is going to be
What the hell is the pussy party?
the best kind of party. So feminine
Yeah, we got
bodies.
the pussycat girls coming.
We
Dolls. What
love
are they
to
called?
see
Yeah,
it.
that's
You
like-
bring a cat.
yeah.
Exactly. It's no allergics allowed. But if you're weak, you can't come in. No.
Yeah.
So
If you get an itch, fuck.
just to flush out any latent epileptics, anything.
Antihistamines not included.
That's another good drag name,
Yeah.
antihistamine.
Yeah.
I love that.
I just came up with that.
Oh, well, what can I say? She's ready. She's ready to go. But touching on, sorry, what did you say just before this?
Yeah,
Got
I don't have a memory, darling.
Now we all need ginkgo biloba. Damn it.
What time are you opening?
Yes, what time we're opening. So we'll be hosting tin talks and stuff like that from 6 p.m. until 12 a.m. Obviously the regular closing time. And then on Sundays, so that applies from Thursday to Saturday. And then Sundays will be open from 12 to 12. All the doodah day.
And then tell me also, how do we, do you have a Facebook page? Is there a website?
Yes.
How do we get a hold of you?
Yes.
Find out about events?
Yeah, because there's no website. I went on the Omni and I got a bunch of hotels there.
So our website is actually...
Just shows you I looked.
She does her research. A prepared
Research.
king. We have our Instagram page and our Facebook page live as we speak. Our website is under construction. We want to have really cool shots from the first night before we launch our website and have everything there. But you can find us on Instagram at OmniBraam, and you can find us on Facebook at
I'm
The
apparently
Omni.
on Instagram.
Allegedly.
Oh no, I'm on Twitter. Apparently, I'm on Twitter.
Twitter is brilliant. Twitter is
Oh, no,
hysterical.
I can't. I
Really?
don't know how I'm on Twitter, but I am.
Who made it?
No, I don't know. So I get
fan
maybe it's not
account.
my account.
It's a fan account.
But I keep getting messages every day. Twitter. And, it's Joburg says, and then there's other ones that other people say. So yeah, okay,
I bet you're blowing up. You are famous on Twitter and you didn't even know.
No, but I don't even know how to make friends. Or whatever you're supposed to do.
This is a true story.
So it's what
I mean-
at what?
So on Instagram we are at OmniBraam, and on Facebook we are The Omni. And we will be launching our Twitter account very soon, as well as our website.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be. We want feedback. We want to know people's experiences in the space, and we want to improve where we've messed up.
Yeah.
We want to, because that's the only way we can get a proper space. When people feel heard, they want to go to a place.
Can I ask you, and maybe it's a bit rude, but
Ooh,
you
I'm
know,
so
I love being
excited.
rude. Where the hell did you get the money to open up a big club in the middle of COVID?
Well, miss, I've
You
been
got a
hooking.
sugar
No.
daddy, man.
I was going to say,
I've been
turn
hooking.
the oil for
I've
the
been
floor.
hooking. No, it's not me. It's not my coin. You see, I am Miss Entertainment. I am Miss Marketing. I am Miss get the word out there and make sure that everyone has a good time.
Bring in the cash.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Are you going to be physically managing this bar?
I will be very present at the bar whenever I'm not hosting or performing, because I have my regular gigs all throughout the weekends at any gay place. We love to see it.
Yeah.
So I harlot,
You're a harlot.
strumpet, charlatan.
Well,
Yes.
it's like Mark and I were in the 80s, dear.
Well, listen. Oh, that must have been.
Speak for yourself. man.
Oh, darling. We never saw you in the club.
I'm only starting.
Woo!
I'm only starting to go down that road now.
Listen, I'm not gonna say that I'm not a harlot, but if anyone is listening to this and you think, sorry, I'm kidding. But it's all funded from external places, and we are very, very proudly a part of like most of the gay and up and coming venues that are in Johannesburg. So we have the Greenhouse Johannesburg, we have Babylon, the bar, and
because you have a history there, right?
of course.
What kind of history do you have with Babylon?
Oh, Miss Babylon. I love Babylon. I started going there when I was very young, and it just sort of became the regular watering hole. And from that point on, I started doing shows there, started hosting there. And eventually when we started working on DragCon and stuff with the RuPaul's Drag Race girls, I started doing shows there, and it just started building up and up and up. So, ooh.
She's Miss Queer Entertainment's Pearl Log.
Oh, the
Yeah.
diva. The
She's
diva.
the diva. Okay, well, that used to be us.
And it still is going strong.
Well, never know. Maybe we can kick an old stiletto out of retirement.
I'm not even kidding. I will book you right
There's
now.
no way.
I will
darling.
book you right now. If you want to do Diamonds Are Forever on that stage, I am ready for it.
I'll send you some pics.
Woo! Let me tell you something. Can I tell you, actually, one of my very, very good friends, he used to do drag in the 80s.
Yeah.
And he gave me a VCR tape of one of his shows.
Yeah.
It was astounding. I love that so much. It is so fun.
Yeah.
Also, do it. There's no better time than right now.
You know what? That's my philosophy right now. You never know what nature, Trump, or the ANC are going to do to us, we might as well just patsy.
You know, I mean,
Patsy.
Patsy.
and Trevor
Have a
is
few
an incredible
Doras.
singer and jazz pianist.
I
and-
believe it.
No, seriously, he's fantastic.
I know. I believe it.
And I mean, I was an incredible dancer.
Yeah, you had a butt.
And I had a butt that's gone now.
Big bubble butt.
Icons.
I've just got a crack in my back. But yeah, but we did a show called Doobie Boobies, which ran for like 25 years with Robert Whitehead, Tony Bentel, and Trash.
In actual fact, you know, I was just thinking about the doobie.
But we can't. I mean, we're too old now to kind of do
Well,
what
let's
we
do
I
it
do.
in
don't buy it.
wheelchairs. Do it in wheelchairs. Like
Yes, exactly.
So we have chatted about that. So maybe we'll
Oh,
launch.
I'm down. I'm
again.
ready. Let's do a show.
Well, let's do the circuits as Madam Entertainment can take
Oh,
us
no.
around town.
Miss Circuit Party her
Miss
damn
Circuit,
self
man.
up in here.
That sounds amazing. Yeah.
But no, I really, honestly, I'm so honored to be working. Firstly, with you guys. You guys remind me so much. I know you know my friend Michael Fullard.
Yeah, I
Michael
saw him
Fullard is one of
yesterday.
my best friends, my very, very close Judies.
Judy,
yes.
that's a new one.
My
That's-
good Judy.
Yeah, you're good, Judy. I like that
Yes.
one.
my
Yeah.
good Judy. And we could do like literally a mirroring thing because I do piano and singing, and he's a
know.
brilliant dancer,
He's
as you
such a
know.
bragger.
Who
No, but
me?
he's talented. He teaches music.
Oh, he's talented.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Not
Talented
bragging.
and educated.
Yeah.
man.
Oh,
Yeah.
and-
Now who we we're still talking about me?
Oh,
So
well,
who
this
we talking
is about you. We're talking about you.
Oh, you
Yeah.
better stop
Can't you
up in
blush or
here.
something? Blush.
I'm
Yeah.
under at least 6 layers of makeup. You're not gonna see shit.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
oh,
very
oh,
natural. That's very natural.
Oh no.
Michael Matthew's going to beat you. You know that.
Yes, I
He's
deserve
got a
it.
shambok under that desk.
Is that a
there.
threat or a
Yeah.
promise, Matthew?
It's more like a
Um,
Oh,
promise.
he's taking his belt off. Look.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
big
what I'm saying.
daddy.
Is it a threat or a promise?
Oh yeah. Okay, so yes, you're a multi-talented individual.
Thank
who's
you.
managing to put a spark somehow back into Braamfontein. And
Yeah.
I think that's amazing.
That's thank
because you know when we were young queers, we used to trot up and down Jorissen Street like two
We would go
horse
to
or
any
really.
bar, anything. It doesn't matter
yeah.
how hard trash.
And you know what?
That's
You know,
we
in spite of it, you know, I want to like say, no matter what kind of venue it was in the 80s, you know, Hillbrow was the most metropolitan place
Wow,
ever.
which is
Black
fantastic.
people, white people, everybody together. We just did the whole number together. We went to the Germans for strudel. We went to the Jews for shawarmas. We went, you know what I mean?
Italians
to the
were
Greeks.
pasta
Yeah, it was like
Mamma
that.
mia.
You know, it was like that. It was indeed Mamma Mia.
and Fontanas for a chicken.
Oh my gosh, the Fontanas that used to be just across this road.
Yeah, High
That-
Point.
Your-
High
High
Point. In
Point.
High Point. I don't know how many times I've like kind of
Hellish.
knocked myself up against those railings with a piece of chicken that's not recognizable, which has been pulled off the carcass, and a Portuguese roll, and
Ready to go.
ready to go, darling.
The
Let's go.
stomach.
Yeah. Yes. This took a lot of work and a lot of money,
Funny,
Mark.
I know.
You know what I mean?
It's a prized possession.
No,
You're the
not
one
really.
that stuffed up this economy now.
Yeah.
Not
Listen,
this.
We kind of got to wrap this up, Adam. And it's
That's the worst
terrible.
news I've ever heard.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
no.
That's dreadful. I'm having so much fun.
Yeah.
And
though.
that's been so. Do you know what? I don't
But
know
you know,
about
Matthew's
you.
giving me the eyeball because we've got to go to ad break and then we've got to go live.
Okay, well,
with
you must
the
just
Queer
wait. I
Press.
want to say something.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but this has been so fantastic to have somebody sitting here live
Yeah.
Yes.
rather than live streaming and then you talking and then they come on and then the thing freezes. We had a lot of what's her name from Elsa? What? Mark Banks was on the other night and he kept freezing.
She kept freezing, so we called her Elsa.
Like a
Frozen, and
yeah.
we love to hear it. That was gonna be me. I was like, y'all are not catching me on this video call gig. I'm coming in.
Yeah, so really, it's been fantastic.
Oh,
It's been wonderful.
it's such an honor to be here.
We wish you
guys.
all the very best.
I hope I really get to
cup.
see a lot more of you guys. You guys are so
Well,
funny
you
and
tell
cool.
now. Here's the deal. You tell us what's happening. If there's something big happening, you let us know.
Oh yes.
And then we, you know, send us a media release.
Yes.
Okay, and then we'll use it like a media release.
Ah, absolutely. Dust of the stilettos. Let's do all the cool things.
Take Matthew's email address; he'll give it to you, and then you can just like send him stuff, and if you're running a special on Dora, let us know. We'll be the first ones there.
We'll have a lekker pitsy doll. It's going to be lovely.
So, yeah, what is your email address? Well, do you want to give that out?
No.
Listen, you can
No,
email me
rather
at
go-
Adam is hot at
Just
no,
look
no,
him up
no.
on Facebook. He's
Rather
got a
do,
beautiful
yeah, the
picture on
Facebook.
Facebook.
Oh, thank
Okay.
you.
He's got very few friends. He's only got a couple of friends.
It's
Shame
an
the poor
exclusive
thing.
club.
Oh, there's a firewall, bitches. Okay. Right.
Y'all better stop. Thank you for letting me talk about our
It's
space.
been
we
absolutely
can't wait.
fantastic.
Oh.
This
That's
is
what Joburg needs.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
yeah.
Tell
tea.
everybody. We'll come and sit on the bar for $5,000 each on the Saturday night. And
Okay.
Trouble. Okay.
We love to
You've
see
got to
it.
sell. Oh, don't let Mark behind the bar because you'll never
You'll never
catch
make profit.
it.
Never make profit.
Okay, I got you. I'm clocking you right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
It's
I
fine.
think she needs to work on a voucher basis. She pays up front and then just like that.
Don't worry, we got you. I've got
Give
it
her a-
planned. But thank you
Oh,
guys
good.
so much.
Thank
Okay.
you. And
Seriously.
we'll see on the 31st.
Yes, I
Can't
can't wait.
Yeah.
And you guys get to come to the exclusive party.
Oh, no, not 31st. Yeah,
Oh.
we're not going to the 31st. We can't have all sweaty teenagers.
No, it's got to be all the VIPs on the 30th. So,
There we go.
huzzah, boom, bam.
Okay.
Oh,
Thanks,
thank you
love.
guys.
Thank you so much. And we're going to
Okay.
go.
We love you and we wish you health, wealth, and safety in that Braamfontein can be a dodgy spot.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
But I tell you, there's nothing more fierce than a bunch of drag queens with stilettos coming after somebody. I promise you. I've seen
Yeah,
it.
but can I
But
just
ma-
ask another question?
Of
I don't know if you
course.
paid for how much you paid
Over
for.
time, we've got to go to ads. And
No,
we're in
wait.
trouble.
What kind of decor is there?
Oh, it is so stunning. It is like
sexy
neon lights with marble like
Mhm.
countertops and like wooden VIP booths. It's very, very
Are the
modern.
dressing rooms decent?
The
Yeah.
dressing rooms, well, listen, wait for O Club for a dressing room. You'll see some.
And are they
Well,
dark
I mean,
corners?
you know the
Maybe.
labbies, darling. Are they the what do they call them? The bathrooms. Yeah, right.
The layman's
Not the-
terms.
The restroom.
They're
the rest,
stunning.
is that it? I've never rested in a restroom.
Y'all really got me exposing myself on this radio station
Okay,
today.
we love you, Adam.
I love you
You
guys.
send us the stuff and we'll post it on the
Wow.
Grumpy page and we'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Have the best show.
It's going to
Thank
be the
you.
most riveting week for you. You're going to Cha-Cha
Yeah.
Paris is coming. Okay.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Love you lots. Bye.
You guys are the best.
Thank you. So that was Adam Benefeld from
It's 8:02. What time did it come on? Hop on.
Yeah. Just
What's the problem?
ready to go.
What's
Are
the
there other
problem?
guests around?
Hop
Yeah. All right, we're back apparently. And I must say, I've just had a rather interesting email. This is coming from Mark Putman of Out TV, all the way in Holland.
on. Wow. Hi,
Ah.
Mark.
Okay, so I think we're going to try and hook up with him sometime during the course of the next hour because I think we're going to be around for a bit longer than normal. We are hoping to cross. Are we crossing now to?
They're saying goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Goodbye. Get up.
Goodbye, goodbye. Are our guests online?
Are our guests standing by, Matthew? You're getting too distracted, darling.
Guests.
Are our guests standing by? Let's have a look. I see the wheel go round. Ah, there's Louis. There's
Yeah.
Trevor. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, boys and girls and whoever ever. What's happening? Huh?
Well, we're good.
Ruben-
We're good.
Where's Ruben? Can we hear him? Maybe they're having a little moment. Louis, welcome to our show. Welcome to the Grumpy Old Homer show. And Trevor, and so divine of you to join us.
Oh,
Thanks for
thank
being
you
here.
so much for having me.
Louis, can you hear us?
We can't
We
hear
can't hear
you,
you.
darling. Louis, you need to unmute your gedunte, whatever junta you're working with.
Is that any better?
Yeah,
There
there
we
we
go.
go. Hi, welcome.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, let's kick off with Trevor, because Trevor's the new editor of the oldest publication, queer publication in South Africa.
The Exit.
Yeah, how'd you get that gig, Doris?
Listen, honey, the first time
Oh,
I
no,
got
she's
an
getting an
exit, I was
alpha.
17, and
Hello.
I'm here
A
now.
little moment.
Yeah, technical again.
Oh, don't
Can you guys hear
worry.
me?
Okay.
We are 2020, isn't it? But it's 2020. Yeah.
Having trouble connecting. This is often caused by an unstable internet connection. Oh, don't you know that too well, darling?
Yeah. Unstable.
Well, at least it's not bloody dial-up anymore. Can you remember that?
Yeah.
When I was in Durban,
Yeah.
we had a separate. I had a separate private line telephone in my office up on the 8th floor,
What do
so
you
that
mean?
I could connect to the internet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no. Anyway, we seem to be off.
I can hear you guys perfectly, though. Can you guys hear me?
Okay, let me see. I'm having a bit of a
Gone here. Off.
I've got no internet.
We've got
Okay.
try again.
All right, well, let's just talk as like good old-fashioned radio people. Who's there? Standing by. We're terribly sorry.
Oh,
gone a
gosh,
little
I'm so
war.
tired of this.
Don't be tired, darling.
Can't
because
be
you are
reached.
tired. Eh?
No internet.
Yeah, we've lost internet in the studio, but it doesn't matter. Who's there? Tell us.
Well, I'm here, and I definitely can see Louis as well.
Oh, right.
Hey,
Louis,
Louis.
can you hear us, darling?
Yeah, I can see and hear you all.
Oh, you can see and hear us all. We just our
Yeah.
laptops in the studio seem to have gone belly up. So yes, we're starting with you, Trevor. And tell us, darling,
How did you get the gig?
how'd you get the gig?
Listen, I remember. I'm gonna just give my first experience of exit firstly. I remember. So I left home probably when I was about 17 years old, for the big city of Johannesburg. And as a young gay man at the time, I officially am now not a man any longer. I'm just a human. But
Are
as
you
a young
banned?
gay man at the I'm just at that time. I remember picking up Exit for the first time, and there was. So this is a very it's a highly personal thing, but I'm going to share it. I was 17, trying to find my foot in Joburg and trying to find community, and I found this copy of Exit, and of course, the factory being one of our oldest advertisers. There was a special running. If you're under 21, you can get in for free. So, of course, for the first time, I went and I lost my virginity there. So that was my story with Exit. But
At the factory.
but how I got the gig, I started speaking to in June of 2020. Petros, Amos, and Hunzi bought over Exit from Gavin Howard, and we thank Gavin, of course, for his service of all these years, of the 40 years that he's been doing this work. So they bought the paper in June, and they reached out to me, and I didn't know who these two boys were, and they asked me if I'd be interested in writing, first of all, for the paper. And I said, yeah, sure, I'd definitely be able to write. And I wrote a couple of articles. And then they approached me to essentially take over as editor for the paper. I was really excited for this because I think as a publication, it needed, and I'm going to be like really direct, guys. I don't have filters.
Revamp.
Yeah, it needed a revamp, and to be completely honest, it needed some blackness and some transformation. I think that as a paper, it sort of fell behind where we were socially and where the conversation was going within the queer agenda. So I'm very happy to be the editor, and I'm really happy about the support we've been receiving over the last few months.
That's fantastic, because I have been watching closely, because there's a certain amount of nostalgia to the brand.
Yeah.
Louis, how did you start Mamba online, and how long have you been going? Because those are the kind of back end information pieces nobody ever gets to see.
Or here.
Or here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mamba's been going, which is
Hello?
can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Carry on.
Okay. So Mamba's been going for about 20 years now, which is just astonishing to think about it. 20 years, 2 decades.
And you've been doing this for 20 years.
20 years. I mean, I can't quite sort of grasp that myself.
The dilemma of an Ethel clutch bag, dear.
Yeah.
And I mean, it really started out of my own frustration at the state of what I saw was the LGBTQ media at the time, where at that point it wasn't really reflecting what was happening in my life and what I was seeing. It wasn't particularly offering a critical voice to the community. At that point, it was just a sort of reprinting of a lot of press releases, and there wasn't much insight. And so I was an internet baby. I started in the early 90s getting involved in the internet, and I was hugely excited by the idea that anyone could self-publish, anyone could create a website, and it was this great time where media was going to be democratized, where there weren't all the gatekeepers that used to be there. And so the internet was this exciting opportunity for me to express myself and to kind of allow a platform for other people in the community to express themselves.
Wow, yeah. I didn't realize it was 20 years. That's amazing.
I know. It's a shocker.
Yeah, well, I was about 6 then, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just wondering.
I actually met my first boyfriend through Mamba, to be honest. And Louis, I don't know if you remember, but back in the early days, Mamba had a dating portal. And my first boyfriend was
still there.
It's still there.
Oh, is it still going? Oh my God.
You just call it the personal column, Trevor. Personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I think we were
a personal column was
we were one of the first gay dating platforms in South Africa that was gay owned and gay run. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So where to from now? I mean, the things are changing every 5 minutes. We were just saying earlier. Well, for me, being the age I am, things happen too quickly, and I can't remember. But I mean, it used to just be gay and queer in the old days, and now it's LGBTQIA+.
The entire alphabet, honey.
I know, it's like alphabet soup, we were saying, hey? But why is it? Because I get confused. Some people go LGBTQIA.
It's LGBTQIA+.
But why is it sometimes put AI+?
So I mean, if you look at the acronym, it's lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, intersexual, asexual, and then the A being ally, and I mean allies are obviously straight people or anyone who doesn't identify on the spectrum, and then the rest of us, I think there's the rest of us, the non-binaries, there's a whole other spectrum of people who don't I like fit into that box, and I find that box a little limiting, to be honest, a little divisive and limiting.
So long already.
It's so long now, I mean, it's going to be a whole line of letters soon.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
As long as people feeling represented, I suppose that's what we've got to do. Things are changing, and people are starting to answer and question stuff. I mean, in terms of everything, and not just
there's space for everyone.
No, of course.
Yeah, but also it's important. I think it's important for us to create these. And people are saying that we're boxing ourselves in, but I think that the more we create terms and identity phrases, I think the more space we're creating for people to feel that they are represented. And I think representation really does matter. It's an important thing that you be able to see that the life you're living is reflected by other people. So this is the importance of the spectrum, essentially, of queerness.
Yeah. And yeah, it's about, I hate the word, but acceptance. You know what I mean? Because
why do you hate the word? Tell me.
Acceptance, because it's like we should all just be accepted.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
shouldn't actually be an issue at all.
yeah.
Yeah. But it's an interesting thing. I just want to put to both of you. I mean, does the word queer not transcend all the various pigeonholes? I mean, or am I wrong? Is that just also just another standalone idea?
Yeah, I think it does to some extent, but I think also we need to kind of acknowledge that these things mean different things to different people, and there's no kind of set definition of these things. So from Mambo Online, we've taken an approach on the terms we use and what it means to us, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it means the same thing to everyone. And I think that's important to remember.
I also think the word queer is mostly politically correct. I don't know if you guys agree, but I think that queer is politically correct in an umbrella term where you know, for me, who I'm gay, of course, but I'm, as someone who doesn't identify with the masculine gender, using words like gay man for me is like, I'm not really a gay man. I'm just gay, and that's a part of my sexuality. But how I identify is queer, and I think that queer is a politically correct term to say anybody who's ever felt othered, anybody who hasn't felt as they part of, you know, the normal social dynamic.
Yeah, but I think the word does have. I mean, we recently ran an article about someone, and we referred to them as queer, and they asked not to be referred to as queer. They for them, the word still has some connotations that are negative, and for them it seemed it's a bit of a harsh word. They preferred LGBTQ plus. So it's different.
You must understand when somebody, it was a derogatory term when Mark and I were the cha-cha down Pretoria Street.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yes, I suppose it does kind of start a reaction that you can't really help.
Do you remember when we were doing something here right in the beginning before we started the show, and we were phoned for a competition or something, and they said, well, how do we refer to you? Is it like homosexual? I said, you can call us a gay, a queer, a morphe, or whatever it is. You know, some of us don't. I am what I am. Oh, I feel a song coming on. No. But, you know, it's how, other people. I mean, I had a hard time coming out.
What?
I think, I mean, coming out to people and being open about it because it was those days.
Yeah.
Now people can do that, but they are getting a lot more flack as well. But different kind of flack, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, Mark, I mean, you come out. You must have been called a sissy or a morphe when you were around in your tights at high school. You know what I mean?
And rabbit.
Oh yes, you were a rabbit. Oh, that's such a British kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, because she comes from the last post down there in Natal.
You know, on Morphe, if I could jump on Morphe for a second, you know, as someone who was called Morphe from as young as 7 years old, I was called Morphe, and I think that there's still many people out there, young queers, who are being ostracized with this term morphe. But I'm on a process of reclaiming words and reclaiming words that were violent to me in my childhood. So morphe, for anybody who's been called morphe out there, you are M, magnificent, O, opulent, F, fabulous, F, fierce, I, independent, E, an enigma. That who you are. You're magnificent, opulent, fierce, fabulous, independent enigma. And that's a morphe for me today.
Yeah. Did you write that down? We've got to steal it.
No, we'll get it from the podcast. But also we had some lesbians on the other night, and obviously because we've been celebrating Pride Month, and we kind of it's like, what do we call them nowadays? You know what?
What
People
is
know what.
like we do with most people. We say what is, you know, what's permitted, what's not permitted, what triggers you, what like makes you cross, what makes you happy, and so yeah, that's why it's important to take note
And
of
they
it.
were like, no, well, we've kind of taken control of the word dyke, you know.
Yeah.
So it was,
Because even to me that was shocking in the
it was
beginning.
a
I
bit.
must be honest, because that had the same connotation as queer did in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yes.
yeah. So we've evolved as humans. Yeah, it's an interesting. I'm more interested to know now about the business side of being a publisher and an editor in a very niche market. Tell us about those challenges. I want to know. Go, Louis. Won't you tell us? So, you know, obviously, your medium is a lot more achievable in terms of contact because it's online. It's a digital format. So, yeah, but still.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a difficult proposition to, sustainably run an LGBTQ publication in this country, online or print. I mean, I think media in general is suffering and finding it difficult. I think the models that we've used of advertising are not necessarily working as well as we'd want them to work. So there's a challenge there. And I think as much as media already is struggling, when you come to niche media, when you come what we would be classified as niche media, it's even more difficult. And the reality is that, as a country in which we have this great constitution and these great progressive values in theory, the reality is that when it comes to advertisers and advertising and corporate support, it's fairly non-existent in this country. So if you look at the States, for example, where they let's say less evolved when it comes to the legislation and the constitution than we are, there at least they have that kind of pink dollar support. There's an awareness of this community and advertisers and marketers who want to speak to the community and want to spend money doing so. In South Africa, that still is not really a reality.
But a lot of people keep going on about the pink money, pink money, pink money. Is it really there? Is it there?
I think it's there. I just don't think it's been tapped into, and I don't think that we as a community have really cohesively come together to leverage this pink money.
Yeah, because I don't think the value proposition extends enough to the corporate entities. I mean, I think, I must say that we're busy putting our little pride passage together, which is happening next Thursday here at I Love Marvel.live headquarters. And I hope you guys are coming. Anyway, but the point is that certain brands will without question, they'll just go, we're in. And some people are going, you can hear. I don't even. Well, let's just say they were reticent. I was going to say you can hear the. It's like talking to the very elderly clerk who has her very staunch ways of dealing with everybody, and then she'll just say, "Nah, that's not our market." You know what I mean? So it's very hard sometimes, and I can quite understand. And so there again, running two very long-standing publications is to be applauded, and we're really grateful for it because, I mean, where would we find half the stuff we talk about?
Exactly.
Yeah. So we do go to your websites a lot, I promise you. And I think I might have even filled in a couple of subscription forms somewhere. But,
Under
nom de plume. No, out there, it doesn't matter. But I mean, the point is, it's that I'm fascinated though in terms of the business model. Are you making money? Are you able to do the kind of things that normal media publications are doing in terms of putting your brand out in the marketplace? Are you being able to support events? Are you being able to, do outreach programs?
No.
No. I would, if I had to jump in there, I would say, as as the new kid on the block within publication, my experience has been, I've obviously worked in the last sort of 12 to 15 years. I've worked in marketing and strategy, and within in publishing specifically, I think the funding model is a difficult model to sort of get off the ground. I know that we're struggling in terms of, you know, we also a volunteer service, so we ask our writers to volunteer their work, but I do believe in paying people for their work. I think that we do need to be able to create an ecosystem where we support each other. And if you go back to Louis' point around this ecosystem of pink money, we have such buying power, not as the queer community in the country and worldwide, you know, that I don't still get what we need to do to rally people behind us to say that as a queer individual, you do have some sort of social responsibility, for lack of a better word, to support queerness, whether it's a publication, a fashion label, a restaurateur, whatever the case might be. I really believe that soon we'll be able to build an ecosystem where pink money essentially supports pink business. But as a publication, it is difficult to get CSI initiatives off the ground, to run events, and I'm hoping that probably in the next 5 years or so that we are able to sustainably create mechanics that are able to support the business and create spaces for our community to thrive.
That's fascinating, and I think that's absolutely fine that for us to say that, of course, you know, it is about a networking situation where you know, and I think, I'm sorry Ruben and Alan haven't joined us. I don't know why, they must be having some sort of technical problem, but
probably load shedding.
You know, I think each one of your publications have a directory or a business directory, or at least a network contact sheet, you know, so. And you kind of, you know, you talk about corruption and all that kind of stuff, but you know, unfortunately, this seems to be a necessity in our world, that we need to be more aware of the people who are providing the services, and maybe drive that extra 5 minutes or make an extra phone call in order to get hold of somebody. You know what I mean? But it's a mindset. But I mean, right at the top of all of this, the first thing to get rid of is the patriarchal society we live in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, and that will change. You know, that's and within that culture, within a corporate environment, is what needs to be tackled. And I think maybe that's an opportunity for further advocacy on a business level. You know, so guys, you understand that you know, if you this is the product, and I can tell you something. 40% of your sales of that product is actually bought by Morphees. You know what I mean? It would be nice to know that kind of information. You can say this is how your brand demographics work, and who's spending the money. Who's, you know, in spite of the, let's be honest, the pink economy is in a far better position than most people, because we're not raising. Well, essentially, and I don't want to tread on anybody's toes, but most of us are not running, you know, running kids to school and running expensive costs that a heteronormative society would be doing, if you know what I'm saying. And I don't mean to be offensive in any way, but the point is there seems to be a little bit more disposable cash for a bit of art, but you know, the booze cabinet's always full, you know, and good food is, you know, proper food is being bought as opposed to feeding your children 2-minute noodles. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where we should target the corporate mindset in terms of
the problem is that the corporates are already getting our money. We are already buying products. We are consumers, so they're already getting the pink rand. The thing is that corporate South Africa is incredibly conservative and afraid of controversy, and you even see that in brands, the same multinational brands overseas and those brands here, they're far more conservative in South Africa. South African brands are terrified of controversy, and so they're very happy to take our money, but they don't want to be associated with us. They don't want the risk of that association.
But Louis, don't you also agree that there is some sort of transformation that's taking place? I mean, if I think of brands like Nike or Afropunk, or some of the brands that I work with, I do think there is some transformational work that's taking place within corporate structures. It just requires us as sort of the leaders or the the front runners to go into those boardrooms and like someone was saying a few days ago, break down those barriers. There's a time for honey, there's a time for breaking down these barriers, and I think there's right now where we are, it's time for us to break down these doors. Done is the time to say that we are asking you. Now it's about, hey, we are demanding that you get involved because we are physically involved. And if you just read what campaigns are doing, for example, during June, which is the global or the American Pride Month, or now even in South Africa for in October, Joburg Pride Month, that brands jump onto the rainbow flag and essentially sell us this idea of queer-centricness, but aren't really stepping up to the plate. And what I've started doing is literally contacting these marketing managers and going, hey, you're riding this queer wave. Why don't you put your money where your mouth is?
Yes. Absolutely. But I just have to say, as someone that's been doing this for 20 years, it is exhausting. It is exhausting. I've been knocking on boardroom doors for 20 years. I've been educating marketers and advertisers for 20 years. And honestly, I'm exhausted. The reality is that industry has not evolved as it should.
I think we need to start a covert operation.
Not COVID.
A covert operation. By training a school of brand managers, homosexual brand managers, and sending them into the corporate world.
I
don't know, it's just a bad idea. Anyway,
it'd be brilliant.
Yeah, and we can pre-program them in a queer academy.
And I mean, in terms just for me being Nora and all that, I mean, it's not listenership or readership or whatever it is. I mean,
it's
subscribe.
Called
Footprint.
Yeah.
What is the footprint like for? Because I mean, I don't know. Are there other magazines and gay South African media?
There are a lot of
South African. How many? Yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I think there are some of the peripheral publications. Mamba, of course, is one of the biggest, Exit being the oldest, but I think there's Gay Pages still. There's also, I saw a couple of months ago that, I'm not sure which the media house is, but there's a new publication that just came out recently. So I think that we're also starting to take media by the horns, and we're starting to create our own spaces and our own voices, and creating space for us to tell our own stories, which I think is powerful, like this show, for example. This is you taking over and queerifying media, which I think is a super important thing to do.
Yeah. I must say, I mean, even with us, because of, I mean, we had Women's Month, and then we had Heritage, and then now we're doing Queer Month. In each of those, I mean, we think that we kind of know a lot about it because we open, but we've learned so much. You have no idea, because...
Well, I mean, I'm still trying to get over cisgender, whatever that means.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? And, as our... In our day, we used to call it the subculture. You know what I mean? And as it's evolved, things have changed, and titles have changed, and pigeonholing has changed. Social environments has changed. The first thing you got home when you kicked your brown after the army camp on a Friday was go down to the queer pub. And then you go to the gay pub.
Yeah, I used to go in my army browns actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got arrested, but anyway, so and the social scene has changed, so the networking becomes a little more activating. You know what I mean? So, but the point is, at the end of the day, you know, we just got to keep fighting. We got to keep at it. We got to keep saying what we like and what we don't like, without becoming rude about it. I think that's so. You know, I can imagine the frustrations back of house at a publishing house. It must be quite hectic. I mean, Louis, do you have a team of people that work with you, or do you kind of run this like on your own? Tell us how it goes.
I pretty much run this largely on my own. So, and I mean, it's important to note that this is not the only thing I do. So I actually have pretty much a full-time job as a consultant, media and marketing consultant. And Mamba is something that I do when I can, on weekends, at night, because ultimately it's not fully self-sustainable. So my team consists of me. I have a technical director who's on, you know, whenever there's a problem, he steps in and sorts out any technical issues. And then I have a number of contributors, some of which are paid, just a very small number of them, which would be ideal if we could pay everyone for their amazing writing, would be incredible for their content. But unfortunately, we can't. So that's pretty much, but I'm basically the person that's overseeing everything from, you know, dealing with advertisers, editing, writing a lot of the content. It's quite a thing.
Appreciation then for what you're doing, because I can tell you,
thank you.
This grumpy old homo show together and a couple of videos has been quite exhausting for both Mark and I. You know what I mean? So with the hats off to you, Doris. I mean, good grief, that's a mammoth task. Trevor, you've got a team, and you're working pretty much the same way, right?
I'm working very much like Louis. We are currently a team of 6. I'm essentially I'm going to say, and you know, I don't want to invalidate people's contributions in terms of what we do, but there's the 2 owners who are driving sort of our sponsorship and our partner engagement. I'm driving all of the content in terms of what gets printed. I'm reading. Babe, like this week, for example, is editorial week for me. So on this kind of week, I'm reading anywhere between 100 to 150,000 words to make sure that the publication goes out by the 1st of the month. But I really am working hard to change how I'm trying to really shift the narrative. I want Exit to become a self-sustaining publication. I do want to pay people. I'm starting to get sponsors in. We've recently signed up 2 sponsors, which is YFM and Nike, and these are brand partners that are helping us essentially build an ecosystem where we've got the financial resources to do 2 things. The first is to continue as a print monthly, and to also then elevate our content. So, you know, like for me as a marketer, the cover is extremely important for me. You know, imagery is important. Sure. And then the second thing that we're doing is paying writers. So I've spent the last sort of 4 months delving into my little black book and speaking to all writers across the continent. And I've signed up a bunch of contributors across the continent that I'm extremely grateful for, who are reporting on you know, the queer agenda within the African context, in Uganda, in Nigeria, in Liberia. And these are important places for us to hear from. But it is also really important for me to understand that writing is not just a side hustle. For some people, this is their bread and butter. And so I want to be able to pay people for this. So I'm working extremely hard to ensure that Exit within the next sort of 2 years becomes from a volunteer-based thing to a really profit-based organization, and that we are able to create a sustainable financial ecosystem.
I mean, with us, we come from the arts culture, what background,
Creative
industry.
That's the way they call us now.
And I mean, there's so many fantastic arts writers and reviewers like Robin Sasson, Adrian Sishnell, all those people. I mean, I come from a dance background, who were all just, well, everybody. There's no art section in your newspapers now. And so they're hustling to kind of find work in other areas and blogs and all that. I mean, it's I suppose the world is changing. You know,
absolutely.
I must say, you know, one thing that stood out for me about Mambo, of course, is that you seem to be bagging those bigots, say, Louis.
And just to clarify, it's Mamba, not Mambo.
Sorry, you know, I got Mambo number 5.
It's the snake, not the dance.
Exactly
the snake, honey, the snake.
It's a green Mamba, darling. It's a green Mamba.
Big black Mamba.
You know, which one's
yes?
Okay, but I mean, I'm going to tell you something. You exposed Christian Otto, and just today I saw Tian van Vieren. That boy needs to go and get himself an audition for Broke Straight Boys.
I mean, I didn't see the Tian thing. What's going on?
Some muscle Mary from Alberton who went on a religious rant again, and then, you know, all the morph is going to hell. And anyway, so it attracted over.
Listen, Han, it's muscles or brains, so you know you have, that's what we got to deal with.
But what is funny, don't recall reading it in your article, Louis, but Mr. Van Vieren has a grander profile called Beefy Guy 26.
You did a lot of research.
I do a lot of research, believe me. He's got a very sweet girlfriend, and she's none the wiser.
Well, he does have a lot of gay friends on Facebook. I mean, he's got a lot of
hundreds.
Oh, Louis, are we calling it friends now, or are we calling it like special friends?
Facebook friends.
Facebook friends. This is a story to continue, believe me, because I know how.
I'm going to check it out right now when I get home.
The queers went berserk on Christian Otto's ass. I can tell you.
But I mean, what's interesting with those stories? What's interesting with those stories is that we followed what the community did. I mean, those incidents and that response to those particular individuals and their homophobia. We kind of, you know, there are so many people on social media that make homophobic, queerphobic, transphobic, hateful comments all the time. I mean, if you go on social media, you can spot them all the time. But for some reason, there are those people that just strike a nerve in the community. And in this case, this character this week, it just went viral, and the community as a whole just responded overwhelmingly. And that's really why we kind of stepped in and followed up on the story.
You see, the crux of the matter is, of course, and my late father was a minister. Okay, and of course, the reason why I didn't talk to him for 20 years is because my lifestyle was at odds with his, and so I just, you know, ran off into the provinces and became a musician and a theatre producer, etc., etc., and it's the kind of thing that I suppose he has a difficult task with. You know, there should be an outreach program for fundamentalist Christian gay people, because they really have a lot to really change. Anyway, we've got to actually start wrapping this up. I mean, I can't believe it's gone so quickly. But I wanted to just say that we are grateful for the fact that we are represented by your publications. We are extremely happy to be able to consult with them. We would love to spend more time with you. This is not the last time we're going to be talking to you on this radio station. And
we want to thank I Love Melville for allowing us to just do what.
Yes, you guys, that's itself is a story that both of you can take. We are very grateful, and we are very proud of the people who stand up and get counted on behalf of our community. So thank you.
Yeah, and in the beginning, as Do you think we can have these people? Aren't they in competition? Are they going to have a huge fight and a queenie? And
I think we're a community.
And I think, yeah, and that's what it's about, is bringing the community together.
We're a community with diverse voices, and I think that's exactly what we are. And we just, you know what? I just want to be happy. Hey?
Happy? How's that sound? Yeah.
You know, because, I mean, we, you know, Mark was born gay. And
we all are,
apparently. But I only crossed over very late, I must be honest. But the point is that it's very comforting to know that there's a community out there that supports you and that support us.
Yeah,
and we're grateful for that.
Thank you so much, guys.
Can I ask you guys just one thing before we log off? I wanted to say to Louis specifically that you know, Louis was an inspiration for me to get into this space, specifically because of Mamba. And I wanted to say, you know, we spoke on a panel 2 days ago, and I didn't get to say this to you, Louis, but thank you so much for being that voice over the last 20 years. Because for me, as a young queer, I mean, 20 years ago, I was 16. And I remember logging on to Mamba, you know, as trying to find my feet in this position. So I thank you for your activism, and I thank you for your life. And I also thank you guys, as the grumpy old men, for starting the platform, because I think that this is an important thing to do, is to expand and amplify the queer voice. We might think that we're living in a
Hello, are you still there, darling?
I'm still here.
Shame. I think she's done a bit of an Elsa. Louis,
well, I mean, I don't know if Trevor can see this, but I also just wanted to say that I really appreciate what he's doing. And I mean, what he's doing with Exit at the moment is amazing. And the publication is looking fantastic. So, you know, well done to him.
I'm very happy.
Amazing. Thank you, guys.
Hopefully we'll have a Doris sometime soon.
Yeah.
Together. But anyway, with that, we thank you very much for joining us on the Grumpy Old Homo show on ilovemelbourne.live. We're back on.
Bye.
Hey, are you there, darling?
Yes, I'm here.
Sorry, we got just repeat that last point you were making.
Oh, I was just saying, the last point that I was making was I think that it is really important that, you know, we think that we're progressive in terms of our agenda, you know, our experience, but we're still pretty stifled. I think that not only if we have to look at the American politic in terms of where the Black agenda is, if we have to look at the queer politic in terms of where we are from an African perspective, that we need these voices, we need these queer voices in order to amplify the agenda, in order to say that we are here and we're visible. So the work that you're doing, and you know, it's fun and it's hard work, but it is creating some sort of social change. And for me, this is the agenda, and I applaud anybody, the grumpy old men. I applaud you, and I applaud you, Louis, so thank you so much for this.
We've embraced that identity, you know. We don't care anyway. That's why we call ourselves the grumpy old.
I mean,
the grumpy old homo. Sorry, yes.
We can't call ourselves a grumpy old.
I'm 5'2" grumpy and old as well. So don't worry, I'm coming.
And you know, it's not like us.
But I mean, what's amazing? I mean, we've been doing this for 3 months or something. The station
next Thursday will be our 33rd show.
Yeah, and the station's been going for 4 months or something like that.
5 months now.
5 months,
and it was very brave of them to take us on. I mean, we went up for a coffee, and then suddenly we were offered a radio show. And I said, well, we'll do it if we can go as the grumpy old homos. Right?
Yeah, and I mean, when was it? Monday, we had people from America, the UK, Indonesia.
India writing to us
all over, and
Cyprus and Japan. Can you believe it, people?
Yeah. Hey, so I mean, hopefully we will get the traction. We are getting massive. We are number 1 on the station. I love saying that. It freaks everybody out.
Anyway,
but our show is doing well.
Yeah,
and I think there's a need. Yeah.
And then, of course, our final shout out, of course, is that Space.tm tonight in Space HQ has gone rainbow on your ass. It's on the corner of 4th and Main Road, Melville, and you can't believe it. It looks astounding.
Because the buildings, it is
lit up in a rainbow.
sensational. Yeah.
I need to come check it out.
Yeah.
Check it out.
All right.
But thank you guys so much and for the work that you're doing.
Much
and
love and gratitude, and be safe and be hopefully turn some bucks, because maybe you could pass them the grumpy old Homo way sometime.
We're very expensive.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks for having us.
And lots
Alrighty. Have a good night.
Good night.
All right. And that's we're about to wrap, and
We're
what
about
a
to wrap, and we
fantastic,
thank Matthew
time.
for dealing for another trying time.
Yeah.
We thank you very much, my dear.
Are we going to play out with my jingle?
And go.
And
let's go.
That was the Grumpy Old Homo Show. We'll see you on Monday.
Bye. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Grumpy Old Homo Show.
Yeah, and we are in Pride Month.
We are in Pride Month, and tonight
celebrating queers.
Queers,
all
queers.
that is queer.
So we're doing a fundraiser on the 29th of October, currently hosted by I Love Melville.live, and there's sponsored food and drink.
Entertainment.
We've got the Avalon Quartet, we've got the Mamas,
Lilo's going to perform.
and Robert Whitehead. Fatsy City, I tell you, there was everybody everywhere.